Selling on Etsy at the end of the day is all about rank. If you're on the first page of Etsy, then you have a ton of sales coming in. However, getting to the top of the search field is the result of one thing and one thing only, and that is sales. So in this video, I'll outline the two things that I do to get sales in the beginning when I list something. Let's get into it. Now, the first thing that I actually do when I list something is that I list it at a lower price, which is what I refer to as break-even pricing. What I found basically with Etsy and like economics overall, like I'm a musician mainly, I'm not like super deep into economics and stuff like that. I'm still quite new to it, honestly. I've only been doing it a couple of years. What I've basically noticed is that the higher you price something, the more profit you gain and the less sales you make, but you make more profit per sale. But if you price something lower, you end up making less, but you sell in more volume. So you sell more units, but you need more of those volumes to even make up for that one sale with a higher profit margin. So let's say basically that you earn $10 after you bought the item from Printify. So you get the sale from Etsy, you purchase the item for the customer on Printify. The money that you actually make from the sale is the differential in between. That's what we refer to as the gross margin. This is why I always do when I really preach. What I basically always use is a higher profit margin because it just makes everything easier. You can take on more risk, you can make the offer better and so forth. But all in all, to get into the nitty-gritty of this, what I mean by break-even pricing is basically having, like when you list something on Etsy, you list it at a $2 to $4 margin. That is what I refer to as a break-even pricing margin, as there can be unforeseen costs and there can also be other types of costs that can occur. There's always something like I feel is an unknown factor, and to have some kind of buffer for that is what I found makes me at least not go into the red when using this strategy. So let's say here that we sold a sweatshirt here and we have my favorite print provider, Monster Digital, printed. I always use Printify Premium. I have a link in the description if you also want to use Printify. It's the main print provider that I use and I love those guys. So let's say that you sold a sweatshirt here and you print it with Monster Digital. It costs $13.91 plus shipping. I only sell it within the US as it makes my whole life easier. So shipping basically, standard shipping is $8.49. So the sweatshirt costs $22.4. We enter that into the Etsy fee calculator. I have a link in the description for that too if you want to use that. It doesn't cost anything and it makes life very easy when calculating margins. Okay, so the sweatshirt costs $22.4. Now we want to see a $2 to $4 margin here. So we basically want to see, let's see, I think it's $29 here. Yes, that's perfect. You don't really make anything here, any money, but it covers any like unforeseen costs, any costs and some other costs associated with the launch strategy as well, which I'll go into soon. But basically, you list it at this price. Now, the reason for that is because of the thing that I mentioned at the beginning. The lower your margins, the more volume of sales you make. You don't make as many sales, but you make more volume. And since everything is about rank here, and the result of getting higher ranked, like ranked higher in search, is because of how many sales you're actually getting. Just lowering the price in the beginning makes it so much easier to actually garner rank. So let's see here. Let's go into Etsy. The more important thing to know here is that you list it at this price. When you list the sweatshirt, you list it at approximately $29, and that will increase the likelihood of them actually purchasing. However, the actual gross margin that I always want to see when something has gotten some initial rank is 30 to 40%. So when the item is sold at least 10 to 15 times, or gained a 50% visibility score on Everbee. If I just take this listing here using Everbee, there's a visibility score here. Let's see, this one had no visibility. Let's take this one. This one has a visibility score here. If the item has sold 10 to 15 times, or it has a 50% or more visibility score here, then I raise it to profit pricing. And what I mean by that is that I want to price my items at a 30 to 40% margin. So in this case, this might be like $38 or $39 to actually make it profitable and make the whole business thing work. So once it hit either 10 to 15 sales or a 50% visibility score on Everbee, like I showed you here, then I just raise it to profit pricing. So that's basically the first part of my launch strategy when listing stuff on Etsy to gain rank. The second thing that I do is that I use Etsy ads. What Etsy ads really do, let's just search for shirt here, for instance. But okay, when I just search for shirt here, for instance, on Etsy, what I basically see here, there are several rows basically in search that are just dedicated to listings that are put on ads. So first I gotta filter this to the US, since that's my target market, physical items, and then just take best star seller. We swap out star for best to only get the best sellers for a given niche. Okay, so here we can see all these on the top row on ads. There will be another row right here as well. But let's see here if we can find two of the same. So basically here, these are the organic listings. Then we have a row here on ads. So when you have toggled ads on a specific listing, then it creates this separate row here, or basically adds your listing into a separate row in search, and it says ad, just like this here. Now, what this does, in my opinion, is that it just doubles the chances, honestly, to actually get seen and then get clicked in search. If you get clicked, it's all about like how well are you actually converting, but the biggest hurdle in the beginning, in my opinion, is actually getting clicked, since there are so many different choices to choose from. When it comes to Etsy ads overall as well, what I always do is that I let it spend $10, and if it hasn't achieve my break-even margins, I go into those things in depth in this video right here if you want to learn specific things about ads. But if you basically sell something, just for ease of use here, if someone buys something for $100 and you spend $25 to basically acquire the sale through ads, since they have spent $100 on getting the item, you get $100. But it costs you $25 in ad spend to get that sale. If it costs you $25 to get a $100 sale, then you basically get 4 times back. And that's why the ROAS is a 4. So let's say that you sell something for $100 again, and you earn $25 per sale. So let's say that your gross margin basically is $25. Then the max amount that you actually can spend on this specific ad is $25. Because if you don't earn at least $25 per sale, then you're going into the red. So in this case, in this example, you sell something for $100, you earn $25. If my ROAS is less than 4, that means that I'm spending more than $25 on this specific ad, and I'm going into the red. What I do with my items is that I always spend $10 on my ad spend. If the break-even margins and my ROAS hasn't been met by that point, I just turn off the ads and go to the next. So that's basically always the things that I do. But there are 2 bonus things that I really want to go through with this video that really enhance the value of the offer itself. And the first thing of that is a guarantee. If you have a guarantee in your shop, and let's say that you don't have many reviews, what a guarantee generally does is that it raises conversion rates, and it mainly increases the perceived likelihood of someone actually like getting what they pay for. At least when I purchase stuff online, is that I'm always not too sure that I will get what I actually pay for. But if there's a guarantee within the listing, if you're unhappy with your purchase, please contact us within like a certain time frame, and we'll be happy to give you either a refund or a replacement. Something like that. If there's something like that within the listing, then it alleviates a lot of risk for the customer. That's something that really enhances the offer itself. Now, the second thing that really enhances the offer as well, that really pushes someone to actually purchase, is daily sales. Something that I've done for a long time now is to just, when the day is up, I just add a new sale that's run basically for 24 hours. And I do that each day basically. And the reason for that is that it gives your listings like this timer, and you can get it for this price within like 8 hours, 12 hours, or 24 hours basically. But there's basically a timer on the listing when the discount will expire. This timer really increases the urgency part of the value equation. So it really pushes someone to actually buy. So that's a really big enhancer of an offer to actually push someone to actually purchase. All right, so all the things in this video is mainly enhancers of the listing itself. However, they don't actually matter unless you have the most crucial part of print on demand down, which is the design. So if you want to learn more about design, I suggest watching this video right here. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.